was telling Trustee O'Neill I'm concerned because today is the first time in my whole career that I feel prepared for this, and that's not a good sign. So hopefully I'll start getting a little anxiety here in a minute, so you can throw me a curveball, make me nervous, and then hopefully it will go better than I'm expecting it to. So with that, I would like to start off with something that I think you'll enjoy and just get me to the right place. See, now I'm getting nervous. That's a good sign.
When you step up for College of the Desert, you create young professionals. You ensure quality health care. You protect our community. When you step up for COD, you open doors to higher education. You build opportunity for career advancement. You make lifelong learning possible. When you step up, we all benefit.
I went to community college too. I'm Hispanic, and what was expected at that time was that I would get married and my brothers were expected to go to college. But I fooled everybody and ended up going to school myself. And thank goodness for the community college system.
My name is Taylor Bruce. I had a child when I was 16, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to continue my higher education until I found the construction management that College of the Desert offered, and I knew that this was the place for me. Receiving the Roy Wilson Scholarship helped me not only financially, but it also gave me the confidence that somebody had enough faith in me to help me pursue my dreams.
I am proud to step up as a donor of the Roy and Pat Wilson Memorial Scholarship Foundation.
I would like to thank all the donors for stepping up for the students at COD.
Dr. Kinnamon was a pioneer philanthropist here in the Coachella Valley, and he started an endowment in 1984 here at College of the Desert. For me, this college is very important. I think it plays a big role here in our community. My family has also been touched personally by College of the Desert. My brother and my sister both attended College of the Desert.
My name is Ruby Besero, and I'm pursuing a major in sociology here at COD. I'd like to thank the Dr. Kinnamon Foundation for stepping up for me and for other students in the Valley, for believing in us and for giving us that motivation to keep going with our education.
3 years ago, we lost Celeste in a tragic car accident. In order to keep her dream alive, pursuing a career in medicine, we have chosen to award this scholarship in her memory.
My name is Kim Miller. I'm a student here at College of the Desert studying biology. After graduating from COD, I will be transferring to UC Davis in the fall to pursue my dream of becoming a veterinarian. and then I plan on coming back to the Valley to serve here. I'd like to thank all the scholarship donors for stepping up for COD students and helping us pursue our dreams.
I was the first in my family to graduate high school and then college.
I entered college without any clear direction. It was COD that opened my eyes to the possibilities.
My first jobs were as a dishwasher and a prep cook. My dream was to become a chef. COD's Culinary Arts program opened the doors to that opportunity.
COD is at the heart of our community. Their innovative programs are creating tomorrow's workers in renewable and clean energy jobs.
I love my desert home, whether you're here for a weekend, 6 months, or a year-rounder like me. COD has a huge impact on our quality of life.
Their graduates are firefighters, police, or nurses.
That's why I stepped up for College of the Desert.
My time at College of the Desert opened doors for me to go to UCR and earn my degree in mineral science. Now I'm on my way to medical school. That's why I stepped up to COD.
That's why Wells Fargo and I step up for College of the Desert.
Now as a business owner, I've never been more proud to step up for COD.
10,000 people, 3 food and beverage outlets. Thanks, COD.
We are an outstanding college. We're public servants, and that's what we're about. I did put somebody on the spot today, so they're going to do a really, really good job. It's one of our own, and I'm going to ask him to come up and just talk to you about his journey. So, Jose, can you join us? Oh, I'm ready to turn here. I'm starting to get nervous now. That's good. I think this is done. Uh-oh.
Check.
Can you hear me now? Get your tissue out. Last time he ran into me, Jose did, it was last spring break, and I was like, why are you on campus? And he was like, well, I came to see you. And I was like, oh, okay, this is not looking good. It's spring break. And then he went on and shared some thoughts with me. And they were really resonated. And I mean, it took probably a week or two for me to shake some of that off. So anyway, not to put the pressure on.
Thank you for putting me on the spot like this. But it also gives me an opportunity on behalf of all of us to thank you for the 3% raise that we just got. Wow, it's, I don't really know what I'm going to say, and I wish I would have had some time to think about this. But I know Step It Up for COD is what I'm all about. I started with COD 30 years ago. I was an ESL student. I was picking grapes, washing dishes, loading trucks on the field. And I came to this wonderful institution where I ran into people that cared about me, and wanted me to learn English. And I decided to do it because I wanted to be a busboy, to make tips. And I came to class, and as I was working at some of the local hotels and restaurants, I realized that the waiters were taking most of the tip money. And I wanted some of it. And the only way I could get it is if I could talk to the customers and smooth talk them into giving me more tips. So I decided to come to COD and take more classes more seriously so that I could be the busboy or the captain, so I could take the money home. And I did. But and I have mixed feelings about people like that I ran into their path because they kept pushing me to continue coming to school. They kept pushing me and motivating me to do it. And I'm going to take the opportunity to thank some of them. You know, some of them are no longer with us because they retired. Mr. Juan Lujan. Terry Green. Marcelino Diaz. Rosemary Ortega. Terry Stark. Pam Hunter. Ray Ortiz. And the list goes on and on because although I had these feelings about them because they were so great to me, they put such pressure on me. They just kept at it. And after I finished my 6 levels of ESL, they told me that I could get my high school diploma and move over to the other end of the hallway and take classes. So I did, and I got my high school diploma. And then I ran into Mr. Marcelino Diaz and Juan Lujan, and they're like, you can get your AA degree. So I'm like, okay, why not? And I finished, and I got my AA degree, and little did I know that they told me that there was a BS degree, bachelor's degree that I could take. And I thought I was already a good bachelor. And they told me I could get a degree in that. So I just said, okay, I'll do it. Why not? And I was fortunate enough to graduate from COD and to play sports for God to the Desert. I played soccer for 2 years, and I received a scholarship an athletic scholarship to go to Cal State Los Angeles and play for them. And when I graduated, I came back to the Desert, and I was hired by Mr. Terry Green to teach for the Adult Basic Education Program, where my roots started with ESL and the high school completion program. I've been working for College of the Desert for 24 years as an instructor for the Adult Basic Education Program, with my bro sitting right in front of us here, Ty Thomas, who's another one of the people that helped me. And for the last 3 to 4 years, I have been coaching, and thanks to Coach Athletic Director Dean Dowdy for giving me the opportunity to be the coach of the men's and women's soccer for the college. And I get emotional about this because I'm going to all the high schools in the valley, especially to the east end, where a lot of our kids don't see beyond Monroe Street, crossing into this end of the valley to continue their education. And I've been given the opportunity to use the soccer ball as a bait, and then it's our job to reel them in and to bring them into your classes so that you can have the opportunity to make a difference in their lives. Because I know statistics are great, and we saw those numbers on the board, but I know that to every one of you, there are no statistics in your classrooms. I know in your classrooms there are individuals, and we are all obligated to make that our goal.
to continue working for our students and to sacrifice for them so that we can provide them with, with those opportunities that we all had. And for some of us, it's more difficult. For others, it's not as difficult. But I know that we have a great staff. I've been working for College of the Desert for 24 years, and I'm working hard every single day. I've been here 24 years, but I haven't had a job. I'm doing what I love. I'm living the American dream. And if not for COD, this wouldn't happen. But I know there are thousands of stories in your classroom that each one of you know that you have made a difference. And I'm working hard to make a difference. In 25 years from now, I will be working for COD because I'm a road runner. I'm proud to say that my wife, my sisters, my niece, my cousins, my nephews, and now my son is a road runner too. He's going to be coming to your classrooms. And I know we had options and other opportunities for him to go to other schools, and I can brag about this because I'm a dad. He has a 4.35 GPA, AP classes. They already gave him credit for 16 units, and he doesn't even have to go into a classroom. I know there are other schools that he and I wanted him to go to, but I wanted to sit in your classroom. Because I want to give you the responsibility to help him out and teach him and guide him so that he can take the next step and go to the next level, which is what I envision, for him to do. I'm really proud that he's going to become a road runner. With the Step Up for COD, I've been working again throughout the valley. I've been going to high schools like West Shores, Desert Mirage, Coachella, Indio, Desert Hot Springs. I've gone to all the high schools in the desert, promoting COD, talking to students, talking to parents, especially at the East End, where a lot of the students don't think that there is a future after high school. Right after high school, they're thinking, okay, where am I going to start loading trucks? Where am I going to go pick grapes? Hopefully I can move in the summer and go to Fresno and pick up, strawberries or work on the farms. And I'm passing the message along because I want them to have that opportunity to come to this wonderful school. We have one of the best community colleges in the country. And sometimes we take it for granted, sometimes we don't realize it. And unless we see the end result, and sometimes we don't, but we are making a difference, not only in this college, but this community, the state, the country. We have that obligation and that responsibility to keep pushing and to keep working hard for COD. The only high school I didn't go to is Rancho Mirage because it isn't open yet. But I've hit all the high schools in between. I really don't know what else to say, and I'm sorry about my accent and my English, but that's my teacher's fault.
Yes, that's where I was getting ready to go. So tell us, when we met, you told me that your wife, you were shipping at the time because you're always over at COD, and you've got this other stuff you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I had a business for almost 30 years. I'm an accountant, and I'm blessed to have that job because it pays the bills and gives me the opportunity to come to COD and have fun. Many times my wife thinks that I should be going to the office and making money, and but I'm rich here. And during this season, which is the fall sports, my secretary begs me at the office, and she always tells me, people, give me 10 hours a week so I can schedule clients to come to see you. Because the minute you start going to practice and talking to these kids and helping my own students with their math problems, or my players with math, and my assistant coach is really great with it too. She's helping them with English and she's guiding them. And my secretary said, people, give me 10 hours so that I can fill the schedule, because people just keep calling you and calling you, and I need you to be here. And my wife thinks that I should be making money, and I do too. I just, this is my life. This is what I live for, and I know I'm not the only one here that has those feelings, and I'm so grateful because I've leveled with my wife, and I told her once that I was going to make sure that there was, food on the table, and that the kids were going to be taken care of all the time. And I promised her, and I'm washing dishes at home so that she lets me come and do this for fun. And I'm really grateful for that, and thank you for allowing me to share that with you, because without her, it wouldn't be possible. I have such great support from her, and I'm really grateful. Thank you very much.
So that's what we're about, and what a remarkable journey you've been on, Jose. It's critical that we unbridle that passion, and it's really burning in our belly, because I've said it and I'll continue to say this, if it's not a calling, then you probably aren't right for a community college. But if it is a calling, it's the most rewarding experience, and there's not a better career path than what you do and what I do. So, opportunities to celebrate and share people's journeys and others up here, we need to take those opportunities. And now we're going to get into the mundane. Good morning. I want to thank the COD Foundation for creating the video that we watched. It communicates what we do and how they're able to get resources for us to support our students. And this thing, the video was first debuted at the B.B. Newark and Brian Stokes Mitchell event at the McCallum Theater last May. And again, it was a completely different audience, and the reaction was very similar to the reaction that you had to Jose when he said his remarks. And so, again, as you tell the stories about individuals and their journeys, people can relate to what you do. And, I was thinking about it on the drive-in this morning. For this college, we really don't have a fiscal challenge. What we really need to focus on is, if we focus just on student learning and student success, we'll have enough money to serve all the students that we're able to serve. And that's the key that I think gets lost, is oftentimes we get into trying to establish priorities, trying to do all these other types of things, and it's part of bureaucracy and part of, the silos that we create, and the self-interest that we put in place, and those types of things in any type of organization. But if we can just come back to all these students and their stories and focus on student learning and student success, the resources will be there. Because we're going to be successful, and our students are going to be successful, and our community is going to be supportive of us. So, we're going to continue down this journey. We are an outstanding college. I think that we could be a beacon college for other colleges to emulate as we move forward. That's where my focus is, and I'm already off my remarks, so that's a good sign. Faculty, I want to welcome you back, and I want to share with you that your colleagues, your classified staff, and others that were here over the summer, they have been working to get the buildings prepared, to prepare for today's activities. And so for all of them that were here, I would appreciate if we could recognize them and give them a round of applause. Our Flex Planning team, I'd like to acknowledge Ed Reed, our outgoing Chair of Faculty Development, and Dr. Lisa Socio, incoming Chair, and their committee. A few other individuals in the room I'd like to acknowledge: our Board President, Trustee Michael O'Neill, Trustee Mary Jane Sanchez, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce the rest of them. I'm not sure they're here, but Trustee Becky Broughton, she said she'd be watching from a distance, so I don't know if that's, she's able to do it something that I'm not aware of. I don't think we transmit it externally, so I'm going to have to really try to determine what skills she has. Trustee Bonnie Stefan, Trustee Aurora Wilson. Student Trustee Andrew Campbell, he was elected for a second term. Academic Senate President Doug Redmond. President of Faculty Union Denise Diamond. President of COD Adjunct Association David Bayshore. President of CSEA Laura Jimenez. How's everybody doing? Good. At last year's Fall Flex, I shared with you that I believe you would find that I face challenges head on, and that I would be open and transparent as we make decisions and take necessary action. For the most part, I trust that you have found that to be true. I've communicated progress on various issues with you, both in person, via email, and video. There was a lot of work to be done, and we've made significant progress. Again, faculty, welcome back to campus as we prepare to accommodate 10,000 plus students to campus. Let's continue to focus on the students that we are serving. 10,000 young people, just like the ones that we saw up here on video. Let's focus on those students because, one, they're believing in their education, they're pursuing their dreams. They believe that we can help them change their life. And whether it's one class in writing they've always wanted to take, or the first step of it onto a transfer path on their way to graduate school, every single person who works at College of the Desert can take pride in their work and the positive impact it has on our students and their success. Well,
not in the video mode.
Sweet. Okay. Meet the Faculty was implemented last year by the Academic Senate, led by Earl Becker. It was very successful. My understanding is it's going to continue this year, so we're looking forward to that. And a few other updates. Dr. Wendy Sanders went to Uganda for 3 weeks this summer to teach teachers of early childhood education. Dr. Doug Pearl's latest book was published last spring, The Perfect Flood. Doug Redmond was recognized for excellence in teaching as a CTE instructor of automotive. Heather Beans was recognized as honored member of the Covington Who's Who of Executives and Professionals. And Denise Diamond organized the Remy Project, a show of student art, poetry, and music held at the Marks Arts Center. COD fact. And please do that so that we do need to celebrate all of this. Everybody's like doing so many things, and there's so much that we don't get to put up here that we could probably go on and on with the remarkable things that all of you are doing. But these are some highlights. Our COD Faculty Association Student Emergency Fund is in place. Faculty are contributing to the fund for students to access quickly in an emergency for books or other expenses. Denise Diamond is now coordinating this effort. Doug Redmond stepped up to Academic Senate President when Zarel moved to her new job as Interim Dean of Student Access and School Relations. And a new procedure was created this past year for the new nursing faculty for student admissions into the RN program. These students were the first of two groups to participate this summer in the EDGE program, which is Engage, Develop, Grow, and Be Empowered. First-year college students take their assessment tests and then participate in 2 weeks of concentrated academic review and practice. They then take their assessment tests again. In the 2 years of EDGE at COD, 89 students eliminated more than 195 remedial courses from their schedules, accelerating their progress towards their educational goals. This program is provided by the Title V HSI Student Affairs Grant at no cost to students. The program also offers assistance with financial aid questions, financial literacy, and student success strategies. The faculty involved include Cynthia Vasquez, Felix Marwandab Domate. Marwandab Domate. I did better down there when I was talking to you today. All right, thank you. And Joel Murphy. Felix gave me a pass. He said, "You're from Oklahoma." Andrew Campbell was reelected again by the student body to be the representative on the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees. His wife, Eleanor Campbell, is the president of ASCA this year. They're just two examples of how we engage our students and how their voice is essential to our shared governance process. But also, it reinforces that learning doesn't just happen in the classroom. Our students are learning from us through our actions every day. In addition, 50 students participated this past March on the March and March in Sacramento. And also we had a student, a KCOD student, DJ Mike Mozingo, who won first place for Most Innovative Show and was in the top 5 category nationwide for Best On-Air Personality and Best Specialty Music Show. He received a total of 3 trophies at the conference. Laurel Jackson is the faculty advisor for KCOD. Our Team Mesa students came in first overall in the program's annual statewide math challenge last spring. Almost 190 Mesa students and teams of 5 or more participated from 21 community college campuses. Dr. Carl Farmer is the Mesa faculty advisor. Phi Theta Kappa students, Octavia Garcia and Thomas Lopez, were selected to the PTK All-California Academic Team. The faculty advisor for PTK is Alex Azan, and Steve Cree continues assisting the PTK program. The softball team, led by head coach Thomas Armstrong, assistants Priscilla Velasquez Harold, won the conference and the regionals. They were only 1 game away from winning the super regionals. Student athlete Karina Romero is the first COD softball player to win a Division I full-ride scholarship. She will be continuing her education at the University of California, Riverside, where she will be a pre-med student. And in more sports news, Ahmed Hindawi made it to the final 8 in men's singles. Is it, Carlos, is it table tennis or Kinnamon? Table tennis. He lost his final match to the athlete who ended up winning the tournament, and he was coached by Carlos Maldonado, director of Kinnamon. For the 26th consecutive year, the golf team won the football conference. Tony Manzoni is the longtime head coach, and the assistant coach is Lee Woodard. Now, I got this magazine. Somebody dropped it off. Probably Tony. Has reinstituted sabbatical leaves. Dr. David George, professor of business, is going to spend this coming year completing a needs assessment of the hospitality industries in Coachella Valley and creating an AA degree in employment preparation and a certificate in hospitality management. Thank you, David. Dr. Nancy Moll, professor of geology, will spend the next year completely updating and rewriting all of the labs for the geology program. She will attend week-long conferences on California geology and use material from those conferences to update the labs. Dr. Ellen Hardy, professor of anthropology, has been traveling to Costa Rica for several years at her own expense to participate in Pavo's excavation project. She will use her sabbatical to plan and install a creative archaeological gallery exhibit and exhibit catalog and complete a feasibility study assessing the value of developing a certificate in cultural resource management at COD. This one's a mouthful. An exhibit for the Marx Art Center is planned for December. She will travel to Costa Rica 3 more times to complete the research, finalize her notes into the book, and create the new certificate program. Dr. Wendy Sanders, professor of early childhood education, will be developing the first edition of an iBook to support the new ECE course, Teaching in a Diverse Society, which better meets the needs of the global society for students of the digital generation within the California Community College system. College of the Desert early childhood education students will be one of the first programs that will have this iBook available for their educational purposes. Our nursing program was selected for the Hearst Foundation's award. Our nursing program was selected for the Hearst Foundation's award from the National League for Nursing. This award is given for demonstrating exceptional integration of the innovative advancing care excellence for seniors and also in the geriatric nursing education. Lead faculty for the project were Betty Belusky and Linda Murphy. Our student newspaper, The Chaparral, received the first place award from the nationwide Scholastic Newspaper Awards from the American Scholastic Press Association. Ted Grover is the faculty advisor for The Chaparral. All English as a second language classes are again offered through the non-credit program. Students no longer have to pay for the entry-level classes. Thanks to Ty Thomas, Renee Tay-Synthers, and Fred Vessel for their flexibility with the program change. Thank you. For the first time, COD recognized 211 students earning certificates at graduation. There was a separate reception for the students and local industry leaders who were there who represent these career programs. Some of the attendees included Albertsons, Rouse, Southern Cal Edison, and local CPA firms. Dr. Kelly Hall was instrumental in planning the reception. Thank you, Kelly. The community of Bighorn stepped up by providing the largest donation, $150,000, for the creation of our Veterans Center. The center features a study and tutorial area for quiet study, 4 computers with all the necessary software for students to work on their assignments, and a student lounge where veteran students can talk candidly with their fellow vets. A lot happens here. Doing what matters for job and the economy is the California Community College's Chancellor's Office initiative to support workforce and economic development, to bridge the gap between employee skills and job requirements to prepare California's workforce for the 21st century careers. Larry McLaughlin is heading up a regional task force for advanced transportation and renewables, and Avante Simmons is doing the same in the healthcare sector. Both of these part of the Doing What Matters for Jobs and the Economy programs. Thank you. So I was thinking about this slide because I didn't write any notes and I had to scribble some stuff in last minute. It's always dangerous because the first name on there was Don Burrs. And Don, I've known Don for over a decade. Since coming to California, I've had an opportunity to work with him. And I was trying to think about Don. He is pretty legendary in the state of California. I think that if you visit with CIOs that current and past in the state, that he is kind of the iconic Californian CIO, and he has definitely earned that reputation. He's also, again, I don't want to blow his head up too much because it'd be hard to get him out off the ceiling. But he is pretty legendary in the CIO ranks, and he's also nationally recognized, has worked with Terry O'Banion and others across the nation, and so you'll see his name pop up in Terry's books and other places. But when I was thinking about Don on the way in, I was like, when you first meet Don, you really don't know where you're going. And it reminded me of like the first time, you go to a new amusement park and you get on the roller coaster, and you really don't know where it's going, but then when you get to the end of it, it was kind of fun, and you like the experience, and then you get back on and do it again. So Don kind of reminds me of that. His ways sometimes are not really clear of, where we're going, and I think it's because the process takes you there, and you can't really define what the process is. So anyway, with that, Don, I'm glad that you'll be serving with us as the Interim Executive Vice President of Student Success and Student Learning. Don's going to be moving to the Craven Center. Will be in the prior Vice President's office there. Again, as we're looking at how we can integrate our student services, our academic affairs, all of the things that we do around student success, student learning, I think this step will help us engage that more. So I'm really looking forward in this capacity to see how we can improve some of the offerings that we provide to our students. We also have, and I'll add, Don also has served in capacities of Vice Chancellor and Chancellor and Interim Chancellor in multiple college districts. Dr. Jim Bice, Interim Vice President of Administrative Affairs. Jim is coming with us he retired from Riverside. He's got 40 plus years as in the business area. Very tied in with the Chancellor's staff, with great relationships, regarded by his colleagues throughout the state. He also has, at one time served as the Interim Chancellor at Riverside Community College, and so he will be with us also as an interim as we're filling the full-time position. So again, two individuals got a really good skill set to help us as we transition and have additional people come on board in those roles. Dr. Neary has changed roles. She will be Executive Dean of Institutional Effectiveness, Educational Services, and Planning. Again, more of a global, cross-institution position so that we can try to integrate our student services, our educational services, with our planning in a very coherent, ways so that our plans are what we're actually doing. They support student learning and student success. And I think the biggest part, and our funding is tied to what we say is important to us. So this next year, I see those three working really close together and trying to make sure that our budget development process and other processes are transparent, are inclusive, and are targeted for what we say is important for us. And then, of course, Sorrel Becker. Sorrel has served us in different capacities over the years, and again, most recently, your academic senate president. And Sorrel has a rich background in IT, specifically in some of the IT functions in the student services area. And so I was pleased when Sorrel accepted the opportunity to come in as our interim dean of student access and school relations. And this is the last time you'll see this bullet. Adrian Gonzalez, so we'll miss Adrian, but he's went on to a new opportunity as Vice President of Student Affairs at Palomar. And we also are going to miss Mark. Mark's going to be leaving us and going to Glendale Community College. And I visited with the president there, and the president there is very excited to be getting Mark, and he'll be, again, this will be a promotion for him as the Chief Information Officer. So what's going on with facilities? A lot, and I'm sure we'll have some hiccups. Just getting in this morning, there was a little hiccup, I think. But we've got our lovely communication building. And how many people have went out on the steps of the hill and just kind of looked that way? I mean, and how many people have been here at night? Oh my gosh. Is that just, we're getting such positive feedback from the community that it's just, I stand there at the hill, but it's like, if I could just put my desk there, the board would probably get so much productivity out of me. So I'm real excited about how the campus is getting pulled together. We've got communication building coming online, the Monterey entrance, and the city's wrapping up what they're doing out there. Our digital arts building, we're moving forward. Our math place have some bids out. Again, Child Development Center, Applied Sciences renovation. Our Indio Education Center, it's on target to open this spring. We're going to be following the same pattern that we did when we opened our Mechathermal campus, and it'll be a 12-week format, so it will be starting a little bit later, but that's just a little insurance for us also, just in case something that gets delayed in construction or something outside of our control. The foundation is celebrating its 30th year enhancing the quality of education at COD. Again, we continue to rely on the foundation to be a conduit for community support for scholarships and programs. Our foundation is self-supported. It stepped up last year with $100,000 that supported 30 additional classes in spring of 2013, which also provided an opportunity for 800 students to enroll in high-demand classes. So all of us can help by attending some of the major fundraisers. This one here, Stepping Out for COD with Bernadette Peters, is on February 19th at the McAllen. I'll be there. I'd say if you come, I'll buy you a glass of wine, but there's a bunch of people in here. I'd probably do it anyway. Just have to remind me and find me. Trustee O'Neill's taking notes. A task force was created to develop the college's first enrollment management plan this past year. The co-chairs were Tony Zalba, Zorel Becker, and members on the committee included Dr. Basil Augustine, David Bayshore, Gary Bergstrom, Dr. Kim Dozier, Jeff Copian, Linda Emerson, Dr. Kelly Hall, Dr. Nancy Moll, Dr. Wendy Sanders, Bina Isaac, Laura Jimenez, Dr. Annabelle Neary, and Carl Phillips. So we thank you for all your work. I know that that's something that we're beginning to utilize as we look at class scheduling and sequencing. So again, I applaud your efforts. Can you see that? So, this is big to hold you accountable because every container has to have 12 worms, 12 night crawlers in it, okay? Or they're not going to be happy. Students can't succeed either unless we sort through our stuff. And when I look at the big old thing of worms, I think about it being a lot of stuff, and we just systematically have to do whatever it takes to get things done. And again, another reason I put this up here is I've shared with many of you that my first mentor I ever had, it took me years and years and years to figure it out, said, Joel, you got to get comfortable in your own skin. And it's remarkable to me and amazes me how many people have difficulty being okay in their own skin and knowing what that means. And there was another one is, don't forget where your roots are. And so it's always good for me to go back and get perspective on my life from where I came from, especially in this role. And I know you have those experiences too. But for our students, you know, humility, knowing our roots, and being really, having that core and that focus and being comfortable in our own skin, it translates to them as well. And they're learning all those things. They're experiencing some things that you already experienced. And so, you know, every one of you, they're watching us. They watch what we do. If we're in a meeting and we're interacting with one another, if we're being professional and there's civility, they see that. If we're not being that, they see that too. So again, every opportunity that we can step our game up to show what we know we should be showing it's critical. So again, I love these opportunities for me to get a reality check, and then I had to go get a manicure because it's like, sorry. You know, that's part of it. I just do keeping it real. So this is Rufus. This is Rufus, okay? Is Dr. Hall here? Okay. Is there anybody else from Texas? Anybody from the Midwest? Okay, great. So what is that?
Donkey. It's a Sicilian donkey.
It is?
Yeah. It has this dark pattern on its back that looks like a cross. You can see part of it right there.
But what else is it called? All right. Okay, this is Rufus, and he and I had an opportunity to not agree. And I put Rufus up there because, you know, we have this worm, we're sorting through our issues, we got to get it all right, and all that stuff. But then you got these things that are obstacles, or detractors, or naysayers, maybe the turfdoms, the silos, self-interest, apathy, and lack of accountability, you know, all those buzzwords and everything. Or maybe just simply a jackass. So what do? You keep on course, keep thinking about student learning, student success, student learning, student success. You may be civil and professional, but utter some words under your lips about the jackass. But again, Rufus was getting in my way, and so I think we just ended up agreeing to disagree. I remember I was having to, believe it or not, at this little place I was at, they sell firewood too. So, you know, here I am, I got all the firewood sold out up here by the shop. So all the firewood's like 2 acres away. So I got to go with a wheelbarrow, you know, I'm wheeling this firewood up there. Why am I telling this? Does anybody care? Does anybody care? Thank you. So here, and I'm looking over my shoulder because this guy, he's like right on me, and it's like, but it was pretty symbolic of some of the things that you and I ran into just like when we're here, and it's like, and you're looking over your shoulder, he's getting ready to goose you or something or knock you down, and okay, I'm going to move forward because I know that lunch is between us, and I haven't even got to the lengthy part yet. All right. So several of you have approached me and you've asked me, what is your vision for going forward? What is your vision? Recently there was a joint Senate Exec Cabinet meeting on academic leadership. It was a function where some of this was broached. And I just want to say the range of what I hope we can accomplish include things that seem minor to some, or to things, and also things that appear naive and impossible. We will have successes and failures. We'll make mistakes. So how many of you have made a mistake like this past year, or you regret something you said or did? How many have you done the past month? Past week? Okay. So, good. Our students are the same. They're just like us. Okay? We're all human. We're all learning. And so, if we're not making mistakes, we're probably not learning as much as we could be learning. And we're probably not trying some things we ought to be trying. But we're going to hit some things out of the park. And it's really interesting when we have failure. It seems like the end of the world, but there's not very many things that you can't rebound from and be stronger from. And so I think about COD this past year, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, Joe, I'm so sorry. Look what you're doing. I'm like, hell, this is great. We're going to, let's go. This is an opportunity we're going to be stronger from. So what did we learn and what will we learn? I don't know what's in front of us entirely, but I'll share some thoughts with you. One, we know we're going to be growing. We know we're going to be serving more students. We know we're going to need different types of programs. We know we're going to need more faculty. We know we're going to need more staff. I mean, those are things we know. How we get there, we'll get there. I mean, those are things that we know that we need to have. In visiting with the Executive Senate of the faculty, we were talking about we definitely, when I talk about some of the operational things, we need to work together and modify our planning process, including faculty hiring and what those priorities are. It's also critical that, again, an operational thing, but for us to be together and working together and believing one another, it's critical that our budget development is transparent, it focuses on student success and student learning priorities, and provides opportunities for innovation while just demonstrating to our community that we're accountable and that we're good stewards and that we're public servants. As a first-generation college graduate, I share your commitment to open access and student success for the students we serve. My vision is together that you and I, we can work together, we can nurture and mentor our students. And again, I want to reemphasize, we can nurture and mentor our students and provide them an opportunity to have the same life or better than all of us. COD is a wonderful college that is critical in our community, and I look forward to the day when we will be the beacon in the nation. We can be. In my role here, I'll continue to advocate a vision with one primary objective: student learning and student success. I need every person affiliated with this college to commit to the objective. We're just about student learning and student success. So what does that mean? I mean, it means that we really have to set our egos up on the shelf. It's not about me. It's not about you. I mean, hell, I was putting 12 worms in a bucket in a canister the other day and trying to figure out how to do cash register and didn't know how to make the little tax thing work. So, we're all always learning. But if we're going to be a premier community colleges, we're going to have to make sure that we integrate what we do, that we dream. And I'm going to give all these bullets, and they may seem, flowery words and everything, but I genuinely believe that we got to get into our being, into our soul, and we need to dream. We need to be innovative, transparent. We need to have humility, student interest rather than self-interest, teamwork and collaboration, data-informed decision-making, professionalism, respect and civility, accountability. We need to celebrate, take calculated risk. We need to trust. We all need to be involved. And we need to model the best of what you have learned from your mentors. So when we're walking around this campus and when we're interacting with one another, whoever your mentor is, be that person. Be the best of that person. This college can easily have nationally recognized signature programs that are unrivaled by any other educational institution. I'm finishing my career at College of the Desert. Whether it's 1 year or 10 years, and I say that jokingly because that's how presidents have to, because you never know what's going to bite you, But, faculty and staff, if you want to do something grand, then let's get started. We do great work. We can do grand work. We've got programs now that are premier programs that could really be taken to exponentially to a new level. And I'm going to rattle off a few, and if I don't rattle off yours, it's because I can't get all my thoughts together sometimes. But like our Child Development Center, our nursing program, these are key programs. Our public service sector with our Public Safety Academy. I want to think about some programs that, we broached a little bit, creative arts and design. Here we are in Coachella Valley, not too far from LA, not too far from Hollywood. With you, the faculty in these areas, and others, can you envision our own production studios and performing arts center in the heart of Palm Springs, opportunities for music directors, script writers, film and video, recording studios, radio and television broadcasting, multimedia artists and animators, actors, musicians, singers? What we can imagine is possible. And I believe that. If we get down and sit down and we talk about it and we get a common vision, and then we turn one another loose and start pursuing. Clean technology, energy, and automotive. COD is already a leader with its Regional Center of Advanced Transportation Technology and Energy. We are the only regional educational provider serving all major renewable energy sectors, including solar, alternative fuels, and energy efficiency. Agriculture, the state's #1 industry. Envision a program at Mecca Thermal Campus. We've got the property, where we provide opportunities for organic farming that happens to provide food to our culinary program. The programs could include soil and water management, conservation, sustainability, welding, agriculture equipment operators, crop science, hydrotechnology, electrical, agribusiness, and agri-marketing, and probably others. Culinary management, recreation, golf management, and tourism. This could include our own culinary services that our students operate within our own, yes, I'm going to say it because I've seen it, boutique hotel, which our students use as a lab experience, with even broader possibilities. So it is possible that we prepare our students for local opportunities as event planners. Can you imagine if we had an event planner and we were planning an event that included our culinary students that were going to be catering the event? And they were catering the event using produce that was produced from our ag program. That's why we don't want silos. We want integration. We want the possibilities of being able to draw those resources together. So Opportunities as event planners, restaurant managers, lodging managers, chefs, cooks, casino managers, gaming dealers. I said that. Reservation and travel clerks, sales managers. It's unlimited with possibilities. Many of our high school students are attending academies in many of these areas that I've mentioned. If we can capitalize on their initial interest with their experience at their high schools and provide premier educational programs in these sectors, we will demonstrate our commitment to student learning and student success. And what is this? Is Darlene Romano here? Oh, Dad, Kinnamon, I wish she was. So this morning I was working on this, and I got this email from Darlene, because we both have these little Boston Terriers, and she said, something like, wishing you a good semester or something nice, It's a good way to start. And so I thought, oh, that's sweet. I was on that nurture and mentor thing this morning. I don't know why I must be getting the whole. And then she sent me this, and I'm like, this is not what we want to do, Darlene. She sent me this thing about Boston Terriers and property law. So all the things I read here is the opposite of what we're supposed to do, okay? So we're going to be the opposite of Boston Terrier. It says, if I like it, it's mine. If it's in my mouth, it's mine. If I had it a little while ago, it's mine. If I can take it from you, it's mine. If it's mine, it must never be yours. If it just looks like mine, it's mine. If I saw it first, it's mine. If you are playing with something else and put it down, it's mine. If I am shooting something up, all of the pieces are mine. If it used to be yours, get over it. And if it's broken, it's yours. So this morning when I got that, I thought, I've just got to add this back in because it was so, just got me in a good spot. So that is not being a team player, okay? So, erase all that. And Darlene, I'll talk to you later. And then I'm going to close it with my two babies again and say we're open to questions and let's rumble. Where's everybody hungry? I don't know what time it is. 11:40? I have another video to show. It's not very good though. Okay, yes?
Do you have an update on the accreditation with happening and all of that?
Yes, okay, so, we had two teams visit. One team came to visit just for the general requirements of being accredited. The other team came to look at our fiscal in light of FTS, etc. Reports went in, commission met, they sent us a letter, and they said, we'll see, this next March, we're scheduled to do another update, and so we're going to be doing that. So the sweet thing about it is, nothing bad happened. So we're on course to what we were supposed to be. And I almost forgot, Doug Redmond and I decided that, CPC has a subcommittee and they're going to make some recommendations on how to change the CPC. But don't tell them that Doug and I decided that we are going to replace the CPC. We've got a better strategy and we're just going to use this thing. He told me I could borrow it today, but he has another meeting this afternoon and he's got some decisions to make. And so you may just be able to ask yes and no questions. I'm not sure. Who else? Nothing else? Okay.
Do we have to pay back the $5 million for whatever it was? What's the ball?
Ask again later.
like the $5 million? Later. Didn't say how much.
It says, very doubtful. We sent a letter, or I delivered a letter, I should say, to the chancellor with our perspective on the world back in February. There has not been a response to that letter. There's been some dialogue with Jim Bice and with one of the associate vice chancellors. Time is passing. And I thought I might get that question this morning because it's, in my mind, time is passing, and we've made a pretty good argument back to the chancellor's office. And they're probably trying to figure out what to do with us. That's what I think. Because we kind of said we don't agree with you. So now it's kind of trying to sort through that. So I'm operating from the perspective we're moving forward, and I very rarely think about that. So my focus is on this other thing. I can't be hung up on things that are going to hold us back. We got people that need us, and so I got to focus on that. And then if that comes back, then I'm going to be back in the middle of that bucket of worms trying to figure it out. Yes.
What's your process for completing the appointments in your cabinet?
What's this now? So my process is we have that executive VP open right now, and it hasn't closed yet. And so we'll be working with Sim to get reps on that committee, with others to get reps on the committee for when it closes. Since we have interims, it's given us that opportunity, though. And we've been really aggressively calling people up and down the state that are known to be proven, established talent. And they're responding very positively because they're excited about, there's a lot of excitement about this. With the Student Success Initiative coming out, about when we start talking about integration, we start talking about trying to really put our resources and our focus around student success and student learning. And so as we're having dialogue, and I've met with people, even if it's not more money, people are like, it's talking to their calling, like I said earlier. And so I'm really pleased with the response that we're getting. I think we're going to have some great applicants. So I'm getting off track. So we've got that process for the executive vice president. So there'll be a standard committee, and we'll fill that vacancy. The VP of Business or Administrative Services, there was a committee that had recommended finalists to me, and I'll be announcing something soon on that position, like real soon. And then there's human resources, and I hope within days we'll be able to announce on that as well. The focus has really been making sure that we get a group that are committed to the same types of things, and that they're team-oriented, and that they can get with this guy right here, and understand what it is that we need to be doing. And sometimes people, over time, they get out of touch from that. And so we're really trying to make sure we've got those types of elements as well.
Is it fair to say that December, the cabinet will all be?
Yes. I think it'll be before then. One of the goals is with with Dr. Bice and with Don here is that if we can get folks in, then they can help with the transition. And that way, we've got people that are going to be able to more likely be successful because we got somebody that can help transition them to those roles. Anything else? Is everybody hungry?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you have anything, you can hang around. Otherwise, I don't want to get stampeded for everybody running to